Hello again, Scott with Houston Event Photography, and I'm going to start out. This is video 4. If you haven't watched the previous videos, go back and watch them. They show you how to create a catalog for your photos and get your packages set up. And now we're into some more advanced things like QR code scanning with your phone to get for your clients to be able to get a digital delivered image off of Event Gallery. So I'm going to show you how to set up and create the QR code receipt. So we're going to go down here in the setup and in the templates, and I've got one that's called QR codes and QR code masters. I keep the ones I use all the time in my masters, but I'm going to go into this one and create this for you. We're going to create a new template. I'm going to call this video training. It's a credit card, but you may, when you open this up the first time, it may be set to something else. But you want to make sure that you're setting this to credit card and then hit OK, and we're ready to start. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add a graphic, which is going to be my logo. And if I go to my libraries and my pictures, I should have one down here that's got my logos in it. My logo. And we're going to use, we'll just use this one. Hopefully it's right. I did one where I accidentally spelled my phone number wrong, and I didn't catch that for a while. But normally, if you do a job where you're printing QR codes, they work most of the time and nobody will call you. I always tell people, don't lose your receipt, because that's the only way I can help you. So I'll put my logo up here at the top, and now I want to put the QR code, and it's not over here in one of these. It's actually up here where it says add, and you want to add a barcode. All right, so we're adding a barcode. What it's looking for here is the URL where that barcode is going. You do that by going back into Event Gallery, back over here to the client site, picking an image. I'm gonna hit this one. And up here at the top, you want to copy this URL that shows up in your web browser. Control C on a PC will do that. And then I'm done with this. I don't need this anymore. Go back into my template, and I'm going to paste that URL in there. Control V does that. And I'm going to take all this text that is after that / that comes after the P out of there. I'm going to go into insert special text. I'm going to call it file. And again, it puts a percentage file percentage in there, but it puts a space between the first percentage and that / that comes after the P. I don't know why that can't be fixed. It shouldn't do that. I would think that if you have your cursor right at the end of that P, that it should put it there, but I'm going to take that space out. So it should say P / percentage file percentage. Make sure it says that. And now I'm using my scroll wheel on my mouse to make this bigger and smaller. This doesn't have to be really big. All right. And then I always put some text on there telling them, you know, things about, oh, well, if you need a, how to download it. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and I'm going to tell it to download your image, and make sure you put it on different lines, because you won't give please, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Scan the QR code with your phone. And I'm here in Houston, so a lot of my events, sometimes I made a little mistake there, but I'm not going to change it. It's just too hard to see it. Uh, I do these both in Spanish and English because a lot of my clients are Hispanic and some of them don't read English. So I have QR code set up that's both in Spanish and English in case I'm doing an event like that. All right, so I've got that. And here's a little trick that for a long time I couldn't get my QR codes to work, and Wally from uh, Darkroom finally helped me. It would tell me that I was missing an item in my cart when I tried to send, so I had to put a photo on here. Why, I don't know, but I just added a photo there. I shrink it down real small. I normally put it down at the bottom somewhere. You won't really see it. I mean, the thermal printer, when it prints this, it's almost like a black image down there. So this could be super tiny. And then I also add special character text, and I do the file name thing again. And I put that down here. So if somebody calls me, it doesn't do them any good to tell me what the QR code says because it's so unique. But I make sure that I have the file name on there, and that way I can go back in the catalog and look up their image. If they didn't get it, then I can send it to them by text or email. So I put that, and like I said, this is just kind of a basic receipt. You can put anything you want to down here, but this is the information I think is critical that you need. And so we're going to save this. Now, Darkroom, when you got your dongle plugged in and you're running, or if you're using the software key, which I don't do, I may have mentioned this in earlier videos. I've always had dongles for every one of my laptops, and it just makes it easy. I can just grab that dongle and put it in any laptop and it'll work. Plus, I've seen so many things on their website, on their Facebook, Darkroom's website, where people get somewhere to a job and their computer doesn't work and they reinstall the software and then their software key's not there. And they have to get a hold of Darkroom, which sometimes is impossible, especially on weekends. Or they have to go in and purchase one of the temporary keys so that they can get the job done. So I've always used dongles. You can't buy dongles from Darkroom. If you ever buy their software and you buy it directly from Darkroom, they don't sell the dongles anymore. The only place you can get a dongle for your software is if you buy it through Imaging Spectrum. They're all owned by the same company, but for some reason, Imaging Spectrum is the only place that sells the dongle versions of their software. So I always do that. What my point was, getting back to this, is when you have your dongle or your software key running, it creates a drive called X down here. You'll see there's an X drive. If my dongle wasn't plugged in, you would not see this. This is a virtual drive, but it stores all your images, it stores all your templates, all that kind of stuff. So that was the point I'm trying to make. I'm going to go back in here now and I'm going to say save changes, and it's going to ask me where I want to save them. And if I was to go back up in here, you'll see that I'm in the X drive, and I'm going to put it in my templates, and I'm going to put it in my QR codes, and that's where it's going to live. So I'm going to say, yeah, there was one that I had in there before. I deleted. I guess it was still seeing it for some reason. But anyway, there it is. It's in there now. I can go back to my photo workshop now. I'm going to go and I'm going to change this to make this my default. I think it is already. Okay. We'll go back into setup. We'll go ahead and close the templates out. I don't need it. Go to my package groups. I'm going to go down here to test, and I'm going to make this my default. And now when I go to my photo workshop, I should have one package in there. which is that 4x6. If I click that, if you watch my earlier videos, we created this package. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the order. I'm going to make some changes to this package so that you can see how we do this. Go to setup. I want to go to my packages. I want to go to this package here. I'm just going to delete that so we can see how I put it in there. Okay, so basically this is, like I said, this is my basic package that I print every time. I always print a physical print. If there's a physical print, this one's not. This is all event gallery stuff. But I do also add a digital to everything so that I have that digital image in case I was printing a border or I was printing a green screen background. I have the digital copy already there, and I don't have to save it to my thumbnails. If you saw some of our previous video, some people save it to their thumbnails. I just think that takes up real estate. There's more images in there that you have to go through if you have to look for something. So I don't do it that way. I just send it to a printer file. So anyway, we're going to start out. We're going to go ahead and add a local print item. We're going to go to the credit card. In that, like I said, it's always in all print sizes. I don't know why. And I wish they would add it to like maybe the ones where you got all your digital products. But they need to add that credit card somewhere where it's easier to find, because you have to scroll through here and where is it? Just a lot of different packages. And, you know, to me, it could be easier found than having to scroll through 100,000 packages. So anyway, we got it. I'm just going to cancel that, and I'm going to go back in there and add a local print item. And you see it's at their credit card. And then I'm going to say okay. Then I'm going to click on it. And this is going to tell me it's going to be printed locally, this one copy. The media, I always put it on Windows Printer, because you're printing to a printer and you're printing to a receipt printer. And I'll put a description of the receipt printer that I use in the description. They're about $100, and you might be able to find some cheaper, and there's a whole lot more expensive one. Epson makes some, and a couple other major manufacturers, Star, Micronics. I've got all those, but the ones I use that cost $100 work just as good as they do. All right, the next thing you want to do is you always want to use a border with this package. So this is where you're going to go pick that QR code that you use. So in case you didn't see that, let me step back. I'm going to choose, and then it's saying locate the border. And over here under options, I can change the group. I've got a group of borders in my QR codes. And I can go down here and find that one that we created called video training. And now it's going to use that template to create the receipt that comes out of the receipt printer. All right, so we're done there. We've got this whole package set up. This is totally a package that will send an image to a Vit Gallery, print a digital copy to my hard drive, and send out a receipt so I can give to the client, and they can scan it with their phone and get their picture. So we've got all that set up now. If I go to my photo workshop, I'm gonna make this like really huge because we've probably got that one in there already. I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna hit, I need to rename this package because it says 1 4x6, but it's really not. We'll do that here in a minute. All right, so you see it's making a digital copy. It shows you what that digital copy is. Then it's sending this picture to a Vit Gallery. It's printing out a receipt, and that receipt is going to be to this picture right here. So you'll see that it's kind of different looking here than it is here, but it's all right. We're going to hit place order. I'm going to go to my event gallery. I'm going to refresh it. And for some reason it's not there. I'm going to go ahead and delete this image out of here. Let me look at what's going on here. I'm going to go into my orders. and it says that it printed it. Let's see. Now that's the one with the border. I don't want a border, so we're gonna get out of this. Go back to Photo Workshop, and I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna hit. Oh, let me make sure. And this is one of those things I told you that in another video. Let me go back to my packages, and I'm on this one, and I'm on this one. And while I'm here, I'll go ahead and change this. Event gallery, QR. All right, so we renamed it. I told you that you have to go to this image here to make sure it's going to the right place, and it is going to the right place. So I don't know why it didn't send it there. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. Let's go back to our Photo Workshop and send this one again. This time I'm gonna watch it in here. It may be getting hung up for some reason. It says it's copying. All right, let me just go real quick to, that's why these videos are complicated sometimes. It still didn't put it in there. So let me troubleshoot this real quick, because this, like I said, these are things that happen. You get to a job and something doesn't work. You got to figure it out. It's still trying to print that job. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel it, and I'm gonna delete it. And let's go back and look at our setup. Okay, go to setup. I want to look at my packages again. Everything looks good. Products and services, package groups. Go back down here. So I've got that going there. I'm gonna turn that off and turn it back on. Hit OK. Go back to the Photo Workshop again. Let's try this one more. Oh, I didn't place the order. Dummy. I'm gonna clear it and start over. All right, want one of those and place order. Let's see if it's going to work this time. It's processing. It's loading, it's sending, so I know it's going to work this time because it sent the email. It completed the order. I'm going to open this up and show y'all. This is the image that it sent. And I mentioned this in the other video. Sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes this does work. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my phone. If you scan that with your phone, it should take you to that image. And I'll leave this gallery up so that you can always see this. But most of the time, it doesn't do this. So most of the time, for some reason, when I go to this screen and look at it, down here where it says the file name, it'll have an error. It'll say file question mark, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't know what the image is. And the QR code won't work just off of the screen. But the QR code that you print actually will work. I don't know if that's a bug in their program or if I'm doing something wrong. I've never been able to figure it out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. I like it to be like this because sometimes people come back up and I can pull their image up real quick and I've got their QR code and I can say, okay, there's your QR code. Or if there's a lot of people, like you take a picture at an event and there's 10 people that want the digital image, you know, I don't want to print out 10 copies of this receipt. I just want to print out one, and that's what I do. I tell them, I'm only going to print one receipt, and y'all have to share it. But if you got it on the screen like this, you can say, oh, everybody scan that code right there. And they can scan it and it'll work. But it doesn't always work every time, so I don't know why. It's just one of those bugs that I've found. But that's kind of one of those things, like I said, this is live, and I'm glad that it kind of showed up that there was a problem because we were able to solve it. But most of the time, your issue is going to lie in your package. If you go to products and services and go down to your packages, and you go down to your whatever package you're printing, most of the time, if it's not working, it's because it's not sending it to the right gallery, or your credit card receipt, the QR code on the credit card receipt is not, you didn't change it, and you didn't change it to where it's pointing to that gallery. If we go into my gallery now and refresh this, we should have that image, and there it is. So it worked, and like I said, we know it worked because we scanned it with our phone off of that screen a while ago, and it took me right to this picture. So that's how you set up a QR code template, and how you add it to your package, and just making sure that it's going to your event gallery, everything's working. And if you have problems, you just have to kind of step back and troubleshoot. Again, when you're doing that one package setup, I'm gonna go back down here into my templates. This is while we're talking, and I work on that video, and like I said, just make sure that this QR code is going to the right place. Make sure that you have put this file percentage at the end. Take that space out between the /P. Just make sure this is all correct. It'll solve most of your problems. I've been doing this for 4 years now with the QR code, and I've pulled my hair out at events when it didn't work. So I've kind of figured it all out, and I hope this helps somebody. All right, we'll move on to another video. The next video will be video 5, and I don't know what I'm going to teach you on that one. I'll probably just teach you some simple things. And if you have any questions, just make sure that you text me or email me if you have my phone number. My phone number is on this QR code, so you can text me and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'd like some help with Darkroom. If I'm available, I'll be glad to jump on a computer and help you. I use TeamViewer on all of my computers because I have photographers out in the field that sometimes run into issues, and I'm able to log in and fix it. I highly recommend that you put TeamViewer on your laptops or your computers so that somebody can jump in there and help you. And that's about it. We'll talk to you guys in the next video.